Hi, I'm Suzanne with Sound Advice Home Inspection, and I'm here to show you how to drain the sediment out of an old water heater. Draining the sediment out of your old water heater will do two things. First, it'll allow the unit to be more efficient, saving you money on energy. And second, the sediment often becomes corrosive over time, and it's one of the failure modes of an old water tank. Ideally, you would be doing this once a year. This tank has not been drained in a number of years, so I'm hoping that we'll get some good sediment for demonstration purposes today. This is a gas unit. The procedure for an electric unit is very simple, or similar rather, and I'll be pointing out the differences as we go along. There are very few tools that you need. You're going to need a screwdriver, a hose, and either a way to drain the hose to the outside or a bucket. It is not necessary to drain all of the water from the tank. The sediment is only concentrated in the bottom of the tank, obviously, because it settles to the bottom. So you only need to drain enough to get the sediment out. We're in a basement today, which means we don't have the luxury of draining outside, and hence we're going to be using a bucket. Step number 1 is to connect your hose to the drain valve of your water heater. The drain valve is generally located on the front of the tank at the bottom, adjacent to the thermostat. Step number 2 is either to put the business end of the hose into a bucket or run it outside if you're lucky enough to be above ground, which obviously we are not today. I've got plenty of towels handy because sometimes things do leak. And especially if your tank happens to be one that is equipped with a plastic drain valve like this one is, sometimes these can be a little bit problematic. If you do find yourself with a plastic drain valve on your tank, there'll be a separate video to help you avoid some of the pitfalls of this particular situation. For the time being, we're going to go ahead and forge forward. Step number 1 on your gas water heater is to turn the gas temperature, the temperature thermostat, all the way down. This is to ensure that the flame inside doesn't come on while you're busy draining the tank. If you have an electric water heater, you're going to go to your panel box and you're going to flip the breaker and turn the power to the unit off. That prevents you from burning out one of the burners inside while you're draining the tank. Now that you've got the temperature turned all the way down and your hose safely connected, you're going to go up here and you're going to identify the inlet valve to your water heater. There's always two lines, one's in, one's out. If you're not sure which one is in or which one is out, feel them. The outlet is warm, the incoming water is cold. Here's your cold water inlet, here's your valve. Now it's turned off. Just as a straw, when you dip it in your drink, if you put your thumb on it and you pull it up, just as a straw doesn't drain when no air is coming into the top, your tank won't drain if there's no way for air to go into the plumbing system. The way to allow air in is to go upstairs and open a hot water fixture. A fixture with a mixing valve, just a single handle, won't do. You actually need a hot water fixture ideally. We're going to take a quick break as I run upstairs and open that water fixture. And opening the hot water fixture. Just a little bit. All set, going back downstairs. We're back in the basement. Now that our water to the tank is turned off and we've opened a hot water fixture upstairs, we're ready to drain some of the water from this tank. Taking our handy screwdriver, we open the drain valve very gently. I like to have some old towels around just in case things get leaky. There we go. Seattle is known for its excellent water quality, so there may not actually be much sediment in this tank. Now that we're done flushing the sediment from our tank, it's time to close the valve very gently at the bottom. This is the part where it sometimes leaks. Here we go. Good. Then we turn the water back on up top. And and you're going to get the sound of the tank refilling. Since you've let air into your pipes, you're going to have some air working its way out through your plumbing system. Go ahead and leave the faucet upstairs open until the gurgling stops. You can hear the bubbles in the system. Just should take a few seconds. And anyway, then you're pretty much done. Once that sound ends, you're going to go upstairs, close the spigot, come down here, disconnect your hose, and you're finished. Thank you for watching your Home Inspection Minute with Sound Advice Home Inspection. Until next time. Hi, so if you're watching this video, it's because you've got a plastic drain valve and you want to be prepared for in the case in which it fails while you're trying to drain your tank. The way that these most commonly fail is that they actually don't close all the way again and are suddenly perpetually drippy. The way to get around that is to prepare yourself by making a quick trip to the hardware store before you drain the sediment from your tank. From any plumbing section in any major hardware store or a plumbing supply shop, you can get a threaded end cap. I didn't have a threaded end cap in my kit, but I did have this threaded pressure gauge, which is going to act in the very same way. All you need is a conventional threaded fitting that you can put on. So even if this valve were leaking, which is how they fail, now it would be dripping, you would not end up in an emergency situation where your water heater is going to drain all over your basement. You would just quickly thread on a stopgap measure. With $4 ahead of time, you can save yourself 50 gallons of water in your basement just in case something goes wrong. Hope that helps.